भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Śrīmad-Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 16, Verse 9 and 10. Which one is on the board? 9? Okay. Both? Okay. Tam prekṣaṇīya-sukumāra-ghanāvadātaṁ. śrīvatsa-pīta-vasanaṁ smita-sundarāsyam. krīḍantam aprati-bhayam kamalodarāṅghriṁ. sandaśya marmasu ruṣā bhujayā cachāda. tam prekṣaṇīya-sukumāra-ghanāvadātaṁ. śrīvatsa-pīta-vasanaṁ smita-sundarāsyam. krīḍantam aprati-bhayam kamalodarāṅghriṁ. sandaśya marmasu ruṣā bhujayā cachāda. Kaliya saw that Shri Krishna, who wore yellow silken garments, was very delicate, his attractive body shining like a glowing white cloud, his chest bearing the mark of śrīvatsa, his face smiling beautifully, and feet resembling the whorl of the lotus flower. The Lord was playing fearlessly in water. Despite his wonderful appearance, the envious Kaliya furiously bit him on the chest and then completely enwrapped him in his coils. Verse 10. Tama him. No, okay, I will read it once. Should we have repeatedly everybody read the second verse, or should I just do it? Okay. Tam nāga-bhoga parivet-madrasya cheshtam āloka-tat priya sakha pashupa-brashātar. Krishner-arpita tasmo-suhridartha-kalatra-kama. Dukha-nushoka bhayamodadiyo nitepuhu. Tam, him, Naga, of the serpent, Bhoga, within the coils, Parivitam, enveloped, Adrashta chestam, not exhibiting any movement, Alokya, seeing, Tat priya sakha, his dear friends, Pasupaha, the cowherds, Brasharataha, greatly disturbed, Krishna, unto Lord Krishna, Arpita, offered, Atma, their very selves, Suhrit, their relations, Artha, wealth, Kalatra, wives, Kama, and all objects of desire, Dukha, by pain, Anushoka, remorse, Bhaya, and fear, Mudha, bewildered, Diya, their intelligence, Nipetu, they fell down. Please repeat. When the members of the cowherd community who had accepted Krishna as their dearmost friend saw him enveloped in the snake's coils, motionless, they were greatly disturbed. They had offered Krishna everything, their very selves, their families, their wealth, wives, and all the pleasures. At the sight of the Lord in the clutches of Kaliya snake, their intelligence became deranged by grief, lamentation, and fear, and thus they fell to the ground. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Srila Sanatana Goswami explains that the cowherd boys, along with some cowherd men and farmers who happened to be in the vicinity and who were also devotees of Krishna, fell to the ground just like trees that had been cut at the root. Om Ajnantimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Nam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you for coming to the Bhagavatam class today. I welcome everybody, especially Maharaj, Bhakti Brahat Bhagavat Swami Maharaj, His Holiness. I am just passing through, just here for a couple of days and then on to the next destinations. We are on the 10th canto, the main heart of the whole Bhagavatam. The 10th canto is known to be the main part or the heart of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Everything before the 10th canto is to cushion it from this side, and everything after the 10th canto is to cushion it from that side, and there is the main. It's also the longest canto, the biggest canto in the Bhagavatam in terms of verses and chapters. 89 chapters in the 10th canto. So is the biggest canto of the Bhagavatam. And of course it is the most nectarious because it has all of Krishna's Leela, mainly performed right here in Vrindavan. So this chapter, Krishna chastises the serpent Kaliya, was enacted, or the pastime took place very close to here when we start to go on parikrama. Is after we reach the Gaushala, one of the first places you come to, it's called Kaliya Day, and that's where this pastime took place. We always go there and discuss this pastime of how Krishna chastised the Kaliya serpent but did not kill him, because Kaliya's wives saved him. These Kaliya's wives are worshipable for us to this date. In the famous song Jai Radhe Jai Krishna Jai Vrindavan, Shri Govinda Gopinath Madana Mohan, there is a line, Jai Nag Patni Jaya Nag Kanyagan. Jai Dvija Patni Jaya Nag Kanyavan. So the Dvija Patnis are the wives of the Brahmanas, that you know the pastime, who actually disobeyed their husbands to look after Krishna. And these are the Nagpatnis. Next one, the Jaya Dvija Patni Jaya Naga Kanyagan. These Nag Kanyas are the wives of Kaliya, who instantly became Krishna's devotees. And of course they had some good karma from the past lives, and Krishna forgave Kaliya and sent him back. Go as far as you can go from Vrindavan and never come back. So Kaliya had originally come from this place called the Ramanika Dvipa, Ramanika Island. You've been doing this chapter for a few days. Has anybody told you this whole pastime yet here? No? Okay. So there is a place called Ramanika Dvipa. We have a temple close to there now. The country is known as Fiji. Close to Fiji there is a island called Ramanika Dvipa. It's mentioned in the Bhagavatam, I don't know where. And should I tell you the whole story? Should I tell you from the beginning of the creation? In the beginning of creation, there was the cause of all causes. and from him came Brahma. And when Brahma was given the task of propagating this material world, he created so many prajapatis to give that task. And one of the prajapatis was Kashyapa Muni. And he had so many wives. Two of his main wives that are involved in this pastime, I'm not going to tell you about all of them. One was called Vanita and one was called Kadru. So one of these wives of Maharishi Kashyapa gave birth to Kaliya. And the other one gave birth to Lord Garuda. Is there Garuda in this temple? Is there Garuda here anywhere? Everybody knows Garuda. In what country there is a airline called the Garuda? Is it Malaysia? Indonesia? There's an airline called Garuda. And everybody flies on Garuda over there. But of course, Garuda is for Krishna's flying pleasure. So these two were brothers. And you know that the Garudas or the eagles, they like to feed on snakes. So whenever Garuda would go around the world or wherever, when he would get hungry, he would go to Ramanik Dweep, because that's where a whole lot of these snakes, they live there. And he would just go very nicely and pick up one of the snakes and have him for a snack. That's what Garuda does. And sometimes Garuda does that here also. Used to do that here in Vrindavan also. And one day when he came to get something from Yamuna to eat, there was a famous rishi, Shobri, who was performing tapasya inside the Yamuna. Shobri told Garuda, don't come to Yamuna to pick up your food. Go somewhere else. And Garuda didn't pay any attention to Shobri Muni. And when he came a few times, Shobri cursed him. Don't come to Vrindavan, don't come to Yamuna. Don't come to where I am performing tapasya. You're making disturbance for me. Don't come here. If you come here, that's it. That will be your last hunt. So Garuda understood that Shobri Muni is really mad. So he humbly submitted. Oh, okay, no problem. I won't come here. But when Garuda used to go to the other side of the world, of course, the whole world, the whole three worlds and everything else is open to Garuda. He can go anywhere and get a snack. But Ramanika Dvipa was a special place where so many of these snakes live. Of course, the Garudas don't eat snakes only, they eat so many other things. But when he had a mood for a snake, like some of you have a mood for a samosa sometimes and you go to the front shop, right? So that doesn't mean you're eating samosas all the time, but once in a while you want to have a samosa and you go. So in that way, Garuda, when he felt like having a good snack, he would go to Ramanika Dvipa. And the snakes over there, all the nagas, they figured out that, oh, he comes anytime, he picks up anybody he wants, and he just takes. We have families here and so many things. Why don't we make him a deal that within our island we will set up a nice little dining table for you like this, and we will keep some nice eatable foods for you, my dear Garuda, and you come and feast on that. Don't just pick up any of our snakes and just fly away. We can make you a proper offering, chappan bhog, 56 offerings. Keep there for you. Come anytime, you're welcome. If you don't welcome Garuda, doesn't matter, he'll come anyway, so might as well come. It's to our spiritual benefit to welcome Garuda. All the devotees always welcome Garuda, right? Always welcome Garuda? Yes. So, this is a similar pastime to Ekachakra. When the Pandavas went to Ekachakra, there was a demon there who used to come any time when he felt like having a human for a snack. He would just walk into the village, pick up any human walking, and have him for a snack. This is a demon. So the humans there made a deal with him that, look, please, don't come here, walk into our village any time and pick up one of our humans and go. We will send you one ourselves. Once a week, we will send you a human with so many other offerings. Some khichdi from the Krishna Balram Temple Food for Life program. Some other fruits and vegetables. We will send you a very nice meal with one person. So, the village, they divided all the families that, okay, everybody's turn has to come and to send an offering to this demon. So when the Pandavas were staying there, they were taking shelter of somebody, some Brahmana family's house, and it came to their turn to send somebody. The Pandavas said, don't worry, Bhima will go. Bhima will not just be a snack, he will be a good meal. Or maybe the other way round. Bhima will just devour him. So, Bhima was sent with a whole cart full of food to this demon to have kind of a meal. And when Bhima got there and the demon was sleeping, Bhima thought, oh, this is waste of all this nice food on this sleeping giant. Maybe I'll just have it myself. And he ate all the food of the demon. And then woke up the demon. That's okay, I'm here. I have already had all of your food. You can have me. All of your food will be included because it's all in here now. That is, if you can. If you can, face me, eat me. If you cannot, I'll take care of you. And Bhima did just that. He took care of the demon after eating all of his food. So similarly, at the Ramanika Dham, Ramanika Dweep island, they made this arrangement, and Kalia used to live there. And One day, Kaliya came across this very nice dining table with the whole 56 offerings on it, everything. I said, oh, this is all reserved for Garuda? What is so special about Garuda? Because Kaliya was envious, as it says here. That Kaliya was so envious of even Krishna, let alone anybody else. This envy usually takes place in equals. Brothers are envious of each other. Half-brothers are even more envious of each other. Like you heard of Ravana. Ravana had brothers and he also had a half-brother. Anybody knows who was Ravana's half-brother? Kubera. No, Vibhishan was his full brother. Same mother and same father. But Kubera was Ravana's half-brother and Ravana was envious of Kubera. Kubera used to rule Sri Lanka and Ravan, when he became so powerful, said, move aside, I'll rule Sri Lanka now. I'm your big brother, more powerful. I deserve to rule this kingdom. Get out of here. He took everything away from Kubera. So similarly, in this pastime, Kaliya is thinking, what is so special about Garuda? Why do we have to make this special offering for Garuda all the time? It's just a bird. He's my brother only. In that sense, because he's my half-brother, at least half of this table should be mine. And he went and ate the food that was kept there for Garuda. He feasted on it. He thought it was the part of the Sunday feast. There's no Sunday feast in Vrindavan. Is there Sunday feast here?
Daily feast.
Daily feast. We have a daily feast in Vrindavan. Everywhere else there's only a Sunday feast.
Not only Sunday, daily.
Daily. Every day is a Sunday in Vrindavan because this Vrindavan is depicting Golok Vrindavan. You think there is a calendar in Golok Vrindavan? There's no calendar. Watches? No. Any time is feast time in Golok Vrindavan. So our Panchagoda Prabhu here is trying to convert this ISKCON Vrindavan into Golok Vrindavan by having a feast anytime. It already is.
You got to catch up with the time.
You can come and go. That's why it's called Golok. So, Kaliya had the audacity to clean up all the food that was put there for Garuda. And when Garuda came down and he looked up, what? You guys offered me a whole dining table full of food. Where is my food? And the little snakes swimming around there quietly told Garuda in his ear, it's your brother Kaliya. He ate it. Your brother took it. Kaliya. Oh, Kaliya. Very nice of him. No problem. If he ate my food, it must be in his tummy now. I can just eat him up. And that way, I will get all my food back. And when Kaliya heard that, he just ran and ran and ran and ran underwater and tried to find out from senior devotees, where can I go and hide from Garuda? What can I do? I have offended Garuda. I am in big trouble. So the senior devotees told him, there is only one place in this entire creation where you can be safe from Garuda. And that is if you go to Vrindavan by the Yamuna where Shobri is performing tapasya. Won't you go there and hide yourself? Garuda will never be able to get you. So Kaliya very nicely, very politely came and hid here and was safe from Garuda. But of course, he wasn't so safe from Krishna because Shobri Muni never cursed Krishna not to come to Vrindavan. So Krishna came and Krishna tried to take care of Kaliya by himself. And Kaliya's wives came and they tried to protect their husband. And Krishna told them, look, I can leave your husband alone. I can leave alone this Kaliya. But as long as you and him promise, go away as far as you can from here, never come back to Vrindavan. Take your poison and go. Don't come back to Vrindavan. This is not a place for poison. This is a place for nectar. So, now Kaliya is worried that here I was safe, but nowhere else in the world I am safe from Garuda. And Krishna told him, now that I have danced on all your hoods, my footprints are imprinted on every one of your hoods, Kaliya. When Garuda sees my footprints, he will not eat you, he will offer you obeisances. Because you are carrying my footprint on each one of your hoods. So, Kaliya became a devotee. He left his envious nature. He promised Krishna that he will behave himself, he will not be poisoning people, and he will be a good little boy. So, Krishna let him go. And Garuda does not want to eat Kaliya anymore. Garuda wants to offer obeisances to Kaliya because Krishna gave him shelter. So, those are pastimes that devotees tell us about Srila Prabhupada, that when Srila Prabhupada went to Fiji Islands is a name of a country not everybody knows. It's a tiny little dot on the world map. There's hundreds of islands covered in this country. And we have several temples. Srila Prabhupada went to Fiji Islands several times in his travels. It's close to Australia and New Zealand. And Srila Prabhupada went there to establish a temple. And the devotees told him, some people told him, This is the place where Kaliya lives. The Ramanik Dweep is close by. And Srila Prabhupada didn't believe them. Could be. Where is the Shastric reference? This is the Ramanik Dweep and all that. I said, no, that's what we believe. Everybody believes that the Kaliya is here. So Srila Prabhupada asked many questions, such as, who else lives in the area where there is Kaliya? I said, nobody. Any big cats like tigers, wild cats, anything, any wild animals? No, nothing. Nothing lives miles and miles from where Kaliya lives. And if somebody tries to go there, either they die or they lose their eyes. So Srila Prabhupada, after asking so many questions, Srila Prabhupada went to bed, and next morning he got up and he said, this temple will be called Kaliya Krishna Temple. So in this sense, we kind of understood that Srila Prabhupada accepted in a way that that is the Ramanika Dham and that's where Kaliya lives. We only have a little bit of time. We can take any questions or comments.
There he is.
So the lesson from Kaliya, killing of Kaliya, is that we should not be envious and we should learn to, well, what is the ultimate lesson from this Kaliya Liya pastime?
That we should not be envious of anybody and we should surrender to the lotus feet of Krishna and always try to serve Krishna in every way and make our life sublime. Of course, we are humans, so we do it with the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. I don't know if Kaliya is doing it that way, but we do that because we are the followers of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Gauranga! Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Thank you, Guru, for your beautiful class. You have mentioned that Ravana's half brother. Can you explain how he became half brother that Udara?
Father is the same, two different mothers.
Two different people. Thank you.
Half brother means same father, two mothers,
Thank you.
different mothers. Just like Vasudev and Nand Maharaj were also half brothers. Shursen had so many wives. Maharaj Shursen had so many wives. One of his wife came from the Vaishya family, and she was the mother of Nand Maharaj and all the Nandas. And another wife of his came from Kshatriya family, and she was the mother of Vasudeva. So similar situation. Any other question or comment?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much for this nice class. Today in last few verses, it is explained how Lord Krishna prepares himself to dive into the Yamuna river to chastise Kaliya. And so in past few verses it is mentioned, he tightens the belt So this is how we see when a person who is ready to fight and in the mood of anger, he does that. But in today's verse in 9th, it is mentioned that Krishna is also smiling beautifully.
Yes.
So how two things can, like one, in the past verse it is mentioned he is very angry, but also now he is smiling beautifully. So I know how both things are compatible here.
Yes, that's how Krishna is. Ready for both at all times. The example that's used in the Bhagavatam is when you see Lord Vishnu, he is carrying 4 things in his 4 hands. Shankh, Chakra, Gada, Padma. Chakra and Gada are to chastise the mischievous. And the Shankh and the Padma are always with him to welcome the devotees. So, he is always ready for both. You're a devotee, come here. I embrace you. You have other motives, still come here. I've got the chakra for you. I've got the club for you. I can fix you up. Come anytime. Ready for both. So, Krishna's anger, another answer to the same question, is Krishna's anger is to show anger. You show anger to the enemy to make them, okay, be alert, I'm gonna come get you now. So, Krishna is showing anger. Also, thank you for asking that question. That brings up the tree, the Akshaya-kadamba. There are different pastimes about the Akshaya-kadamba, but my favorite is that when Krishna came to the bank of Yamuna and he saw all the dead cows, all the dead cowherd boys and other people were all dead because of the poison of Kaliya, he glanced at them. He gave him such a special glance that everybody who was dead came alive. Just by his glance. And that glance also went on that Akshaya-kadamba tree that he climbed to jump into the Yamuna. And that tree became a permanent tree. It lives forever. So that tree, if you go and have darshan of the Akshaya-kadamba tree, you will understand this could be 5,000 years old. It grows this way, and when it gets old, it falls over this way. And before this dies, another one comes up from this side and starts growing again, gets old, dies, another one comes from the back. So like that, we've been watching that Akshaya-kadamba. I've been watching for over close to 40 years now. It goes, another one comes out, this one dies, but it's the same tree, it just grows back from the back. So that tree became the Akshaya-kadamba. Akshaya means never die. And that's the tree you go have darshan and offer obeisances, touch it to your head, and sit under that tree and hear this pastime of Kaliya and Krishna. Yes.
One point is that the residents of Vrindavan Krishna is always in their thoughts, and their concern for Krishna's well-being is always there.
Yes.
And when Krishna was ready to enter into the Jamuna to fight with the serpent Kaliya,
Yes.
he went through the motions as a fighter did, just as he did when he fought with Kamsa, tightening his belt and making preparations.
Yes.
And at the same time, the concern of the residents here in Vrindavan increased, but Krishna was smiling because he knows that, of course, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and there's nothing that can, can decrease his supremacy. So when he jumped into the water and jumped onto the heads of the Kaliya serpent, all of the people were relieved to see how Krishna was subduing and how their anxiety also increased when Kaliya embraced Krishna struggling. So he sometimes pretends that he's in danger.
Yeah.
He's laughing. I know the outcome of this situation. And then at the end, all of the residents of Vrindavan took great pleasure in seeing the wonderful activities, not just with Kaliya serpent, but in this 10th canto, so many of these demons met with the same fate. Of course, they were killed, but the Kaliya serpent was given mercy and was allowed to leave.
Yes. Thank you for making that comment. It's a beautiful comment. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Mataji's? Oh, Prabhuji's. Okay, go ahead. You go ahead and call the Mata.
Actually, I was hearing an FM class, so you can see it. So we hear this pastime many times. So some little clarification or wisdom in ISKCON. Is this Garuda is like is a pure devotee, is carrier of Krishna. So how is eating this fish and snakes?
The devotees eat in what body they are, is what is appropriate for a devotee body to eat. Those devotees who are in their own body, meaning he is a bird. He is a devotee, but he is a bird also. So maybe he says 3 times Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu. But that's his food. Our food is supposed to be green leaves. So Krishna says to us, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. But maybe for him, Krishna says, Nag, Sap, snake, anybody. He is a bird, he's not a human.
Even if he's a bird, but it means that laws of nature applies only means to say he's a bird because he's a bird, he has to eat fish and these things.
Oh, you think what you eat has no life? You eat dead food? No. All the food that you eat is living food at one time. So you make an offering of that and you free yourself from the karma of killing that food that you are going to eat. Don't you? Maharaj maybe has a better answer.
Garuda, when he takes snakes or fish, Especially the snakes, it purifies them of the envious mentality, and they take a higher birth in the next life. So Garuda is a message.
Thank you, Maharaj. So, everybody was able to hear?
There's not so
Should I repeat?
Not so many cauliflowers growing in the ocean.
Any other question or comments? Anything from the Mataji's side? Okay then, thank you very much. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki